We know about the Deshaun Watson situation, 22 pending civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct during massage sessions. We know there aren't going to be any trials during football season, but there's a fight now looming over an effort to spend 5 days questioning Deshaun Watson in some of these 22 cases in early May, and Watson's camp has fought back saying, hey, look, he's in Cleveland. He's got obligations with the Browns. It's the off-season program, and a judge is going to have to decide what to do here. Now, the judge is going to be unhappy. I know from experience. When the parties can't work out discovery disputes, that's what this is. It's a dispute over where a deposition is going to be taken, and disputes come up. What documents do you want? And you've got an obligation to try to work it out. The judge doesn't want to get involved. The judge is not paid by hour. The judge is not paid by case. The judge is paid, as Michael Scott would say, by year. So there's no incentive, there's no bonus, there's no extra for getting involved in these disputes that come up from time to time, and it's always incumbent on the parties to work it out. And this feels like something they should be able to work out. Look, the guy wants to be involved in the offseason program. Can't we just do this in June after the OTAs end? Can't we just do this when he's otherwise not working? He's working in May. Can't we work this out and do it at a time when he's available? I'd like to think the parties can cooperate. If they're cooperating on this idea that the cases aren't going to go to trial during football season, why can't they cooperate on when the guy's going to be questioned under oath in Texas? Do it when the Browns aren't in session.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think it's that hard to figure out. And even in, like, May, there's a lot of times where you got, like, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, you know, as an NFL football player. You've done your work Monday through Thursday, and you might have a long way. So they can find 5 days. Like, get out of here. The thing I wonder, Mike, is, you know, if I'm Deshaun Watson and all that, do you want to even do a deposition before the season? You know, what I would be scared about and what I would think about it, they're thinking about a little bit is, oh, right, oh, great, we do 5 hours or 5 days of testimony. You know, we're just getting people used to Cleveland and Deshaun Watson being there. And then, okay, we're going to go do the 5 days of testimony and what? So Buzbee can release it and make things more confusing in Cleveland, and they can release some of the answers and all of that to where it makes it harder for the Browns and Deshaun Watson to go, you know, smooth things over there in Cleveland. That's what I'd be worried about a little if I'm Watson's camp.
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
The deposition must be done well in advance of trial. The deposition is the opportunity for the lawyer to ask a bunch of questions and basically to operate without a net. You don't want to get in front of a jury. It gives you a net. So when you do go to the jury, you're not operating without a net. You've talked to the guy. You know how they say, good lawyer knows the answer to every question before it's asked?
Yeah.
You know the answer to every question you're going to ask at trial because you've already asked all the possible questions at a deposition, where you don't worry about how a jury's going to react if you push too far or if it comes out like a stupid question. You're fishing around. You're trying different things. You're just trying to drill down on the facts. You need to be able to do that well in advance of trial. So if the cases are going to go to trial next year, got to do the depositions now, and he's already done some of them.
Yeah.
He's already done some.
Yeah.
When you're sued by 22 people, you know what that means?
Yeah.
You get questioned 22 times in depositions. So this is all the more reason that before the trade was accomplished, before the $230 million fully guaranteed contract was signed, you settle these cases. You don't want this cloud hanging over the Browns. Now you're a Browns fan, you got to worry he's going to miss a full week of the offseason program.
Well,
It's just stuff you don't want to worry about, and stuff that Watson shouldn't put the fan base in a position where they have to worry about. Should have settled the cases, and all the more reason to settle them ASAP.
If you're Buzbee, I know, I mean, again, I don't know. How much time do you usually need, you know, between deposition, testimony, and all that, between you go to the trial? I mean, would a month do, or?
No, you need more than that.
More than that? Okay. All right.
Because you may need to do some follow-up based upon what the guy says. You want a year, 9 months to a year.
Okay. All right, cool. That's good to know. All right, so, like, can you, if you think you're Deshaun Watson right now with the life scenario you're involved in, can you say, okay, I'll do the testimonies, but you can't release any of the footage right now or at this point? Do you think Tony Buzbee would ever go with that? I mean, or does that make no sense for him?
There's no protective order in place for the cases, and why would Buzbee agree to that? This is part of his leverage to create settlement value. What they need to do, get everybody in a room, find a retired judge that Tony Buzbee respects. Find somebody that Tony Buzbee will listen to. There's always somebody that that someone else will listen to. Find that person, because you got to be able to get through to Watson, but you also got to be able to get through to Buzbee. Buzbee's got a tiger by the tail, and he is yanking. He knows he's got settlement value. He knows that he can get more money for his clients because there is an urgency to resolve these cases. And you need to get him to set that aside and realize if you push it too far, you're going to go to trial with some cases that maybe aren't that strong, or you're going to have a hard time getting a positive outcome for your clients. The sooner they get everybody together and do this. And if I'm the judge, when they bring this stupid dispute over when he's going to testify into my courtroom, I'm saying, here's what we're going to do. June 20th. Here's the person who's doing it. I've done my research. I've done my homework. I think I know who the right person is. Here's the person who's presiding over a mass mediation. It will happen that day. And you hope that that's the occasion where everybody settles the case, because that definitely needs to happen.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.